Welcome to Augmented Teachings. My name is Brandy, and I am so blessed to be able to host this show today. This is a little bit different. This is one of our specials. And this is Augmented Teachings. This is not only a place where we talk about things that inspire us to think better, feel better, and in turn be better. But this is a place where we also get to share those experiences, those understandings. And today we have in the house Cinnamon and Robert, our very good friends from House of Frog. And we're going to be talking today about House of Frog and who they are, how they came to be, and also why we are collaborating together and what we bring to our community. So with all that being said, welcome Cinnamon to the show. Cinnamon has been with us backstage for a couple of shows now. Yay!
That's where
Cinnamon.
I like to be.
So yeah, welcome
Thanks,
to the
Mandy,
show.
for having us here.
Yes.
Thanks, Todd, for having us here. You know, the past couple of podcasts, we're talking about God versus religion. And it really hits home for us at House of Frog because we really like to feel the spirit, feel the source when we're working in our environment. So I'm super happy to be here with you all in Augmented Teachings. I got my book.
Yay! Cinnamon was actually our first purchase, so thank you for that. You actually were able to get it before it was even published out
Super
there.
excited
Yay,
about
thank
that.
you.
And I hope you guys go out and buy it. I just started reading it, and I know that it's going to change lives. Thank you. And that being said, with Rob and I, we've spent probably the last 10 years healing each other, and healing separately, individually. And then this past 3 years, really, we've had some big changes in our lives. And that's when House of Frog kind of was born. He was in a serious motorcycle accident and had to use breath work. So we use breath work and meditation to help heal ourselves, help ground ourselves, help us to just get in a space where we can think clearly and make decisions that are better for our lives. And we open our home for this. We open our house for people to come in and heal and talk and build that oikos, that small community, so that they can go out and spread the branches to others as well. But through that healing, we've had to come through some really serious struggles. And it was hard for Rob and I at the beginning. You know, change does not feel good, and it can hurt. And we had some losses. You know, people walk away from us. But we've come to the understanding that they're on their own journey, and our journeys might cross again. I love them. We love them. And I just hope that, you know, one day our journey, you know, our paths do cross. But as for right now, we're all working it out. But through this time of healing, the reasons why we started House of Frog really came to forefront because we had to feel that inner child, that ego, that hurts. So, and we do that through breath work and meditation, sound healing, and just great conversation. But I'm going to let Rob talk because his story really helped to manifest House of Frog and what it is today. And, you know, it might be difficult for some to hear because, you know, tragedies and pains and traumas, they're not pretty. And so we have to work ourselves through those things.
Right.
We do that through breathing, through meditating, through good conversation, through love and understanding. And that's what one of the things about God versus religion, it just really points to that love. That love is so important. That conquers everything. And so getting past whatever I could feel from him that's negative, wait, I love him. And I'm trying to understand where he's coming from and let that path happen. And through that, we've discovered something beautiful about each other, ourselves, and hopefully we get to share that with others.
Well, and you guys have taken your experiences and applied, the different techniques and tools and practices through your spiritual journey, of discovering yourself and healing yourself. And then in doing that for yourselves and with each other, then you guys have developed this this community, I would say, to where you can bring all of this understanding and experience to others. And again, you guys don't just talk about it and teach it. You guys are actually practicing it and living it. And that's one of the things that I personally feel so comfortable about working with House of Frog. I don't even know how long I've been working with you guys. Has it been a year? Maybe, give or take a little. Yeah. And
Seems like forever.
I know it really does. It really, really does. And, anyways, we have really, good conversations and good connections, but, outside of House of Frog. But first, if you guys could just share with me really quickly, what does House of Frog mean? Or do you want to talk about that later?
Well, right now, House of Frog. Frog is my spirit animal, and different qualities it has. But I inherited from my dad, who I'm very closely connected with. In a little bit, when I share a little bit more, I'll just say that he was the bright spot in my life, and the time I got with him was invaluable. And he had frogs freaking everywhere. So I'm not exactly sure. I know he was born like a little shack in a citrus field in Whittier. So maybe he had experiences with frogs when he was little. So I kind of inherited that frog from him, and just because I love him a lot. And then so my friend comes over and he goes, "Oh, House of Frog," and he just goes, "Oh, full reliance on God."
FROG, full reliance.
Exactly.
On God.
So you can't really take that away. So that's kind of what it is right now.
Cool. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for that beautiful intro and sharing that perspective of how you guys got to some of where you are. So, Robert, you have the floor, sir.
All right. Well, first, thanks to Todd and Brandy, Augmented Teachings. It's just we made a plan on the other side of the veil, and we found each other, and now we're executing that plan.
Absolutely. Yes.
We're some old energies in this room, but my story, House of Frog, how it comes to be, man, is I have a life that damaged me in a lot of ways. And it starts when I was younger. It starts when, in 1972, born in East Los Angeles, off of the 10 in Indiana Street. It's a rough neighborhood. And they literally make movies about it. And, through circumstance, my dad had to go to prison. And he was young. My mom was very young. And, afterwards, I know her story, and she has a lot of things that, the reasons why she acts the way she acts. But her actions impacted me and my sibling. And the short of it is that when my dad was in prison, she had alcohol and drug addictions, and like many of us do. And she would leave us with his youngest, some of his siblings, and go out with the older ones and party. And that partying was sometimes, from my view, sit on the floor where it's like all the adults go into a room, and things are happening that shouldn't be happening, and it's happening with my mom and my father's siblings, and who knows, and strangers. And at times, when we were left at this house, which was my grandfather's, those siblings, what I experienced was the underbelly of the human mind. It was dirt. It was filthiness. It was broken, shattered, and there's no air. From a young age, from pre-kindergarten to 4th grade. Because my mom remarried, And then I was never at that house again. And the effects that those things do to you, because it's repeated and it's mixed with, this is your family, and it's mixed with like love. They said it's love.
Mm-hmm.
And in between that, my mom, because of never learning the lesson and just the cycles come, every person, different faces, but the same person. Some abusive, drug, alcohol addicted, aggressive man. So, well, all that was going on, and she would be dating different people in the daytime, have boyfriends while my dad was in jail, who would pick her up and throw her to the windshield. Who, when I wake up and smell bacon or sausage or something, it wakes you up and you're like, damn, I'm gonna watch the Super Friends and today's a good day. And everything's cool. Your mom's cooking and you grab that sausage and the next thing you know is you taste blood. You don't know where you're at. And you're looking sideways at the tile floor. I'm looking at ankles and feet. And someone's standing over you, some man, saying, you don't eat with your fucking hands. Don't eat with your fucking hands. It was hard. It shapes a person's mind in every way. There's confusion, shame and guilt. There's no air. I have dreams since I was kindergarten about, I think subconsciously maybe wanting to end my life because my dream was I'm on top of a building and I just fall off until I splatter on the ground. I had that dream well into adulthood. Those things affect the way you think about sex and love and what is normal and what is shame. And are you supposed to feel pleasure from things? And you can't, no matter what, because you're unhealed, your mind goes places every time any female walks in any room. You have to work that shit out. I got married to my gal, and I was young, 17, and I didn't know. I mean, I knew, but like your mind blocks stuff out. And I just, in particular, there's this one day where the gates opened and I remembered everything. And life became harder. And I was rage, guilt, and shame. And it was like being in cement. There's no surface. What direction is the surface? You can't get out of it. You're shit covered. You're just shit covered. And I felt like that was my worth and my value. I was violent. In all parts of my life. To myself, I took poison. Took alcohol so much that I didn't want to live without it. every day, except for work, and I tried to do that too, was every moment was planned around if I could be with alcohol. Trips, parties, seeing family, and if I couldn't, manufacture, create arguments, create shit, let people get mad at me, so what? I'll take them down too, do it my way. But they leave, and I'm alone at home, and I get to drink. I get to take poison. Because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Because when you get broken like that, what piece? And where do you put it? I don't fucking know. My family and children, there was never anything personal, even though arguments, things seemed personal. They were not, ever. But they got harmed, they got damaged. And I have voids in my life now because of my actions. But I was battling not to become what was done to me. And I think, I'm not speaking for them, but I think from their perspective, Dad just chose alcohol. Look how he acts. He knows how he acts. This is what he does. And we've told him. I understand that. I'm accountable. I have a living amends. I just live different now. That's the only way. But what they witnessed and what they were part of, that never even in my mind was me battling the other side, because victims, the abused become abusers. And I was never going to do the filth to my children, but that the impact of what shaped and formed me, that was a battle, man. And what they saw was me fucking fighting that shit, even though it was alcohol, even though it was ever. That's what the fuck it took. So they're clean, and their kids are clean. That cycle is broken.
Right.
It's fucking broken. A couple of them aren't here. It's okay. They're clean, and that's just how I provided life for them. But what we do at House of Frog is just breathing, because I didn't know what to do. I don't even remember exactly where. I think maybe some of the stuff, signs at work, is sometimes say pause, take a deep breath, and something just caught my mind 12 or 13 years ago. And I just started breathing, and it made me feel good. And I didn't know what God or anything was, so literally the salty air Venice Beach boardwalk was fucking creator for me, because that's where my dad lived. And I would just breathe in that salty air. Every day I would tell somebody, I'm breathing in that salty air.
And you would visualize it and be in that space.
In his Volkswagen thing, he'd take the windshield down while we were driving and all that shit. Right? And I just breathe, and it turned into a practice, and I just delved into the chemical and what it does with our body and techniques, and it really helped me manage the pain I was going through, because I was stepping away from Western medicine and stepping away from alcohol. There's a lot of physical things, right? And it was a process to do. And there's pain, from physical pain from the motorcycle, just a lot, and emotional from some of those relationships.
Yeah.
So we just breathe and learn those techniques, and then we, through spirituality and discovering Dan DeLuise in Canada, Four Elements Wellness Center. Shout out. Helped change my life as well.
Because you guys learned more tools and practices to help you to release that stagnant energy and to elevate your frequency and to balance your emotions and to sit with yourself and to also overcome and not run from that pain, right? Because oftentimes we want to mask that pain with alcohol, drugs, anything that we're addicted to, or fighting with people just because we're comfortable, and then we can go sit with ourselves and mask it. Yeah. But then when we're doing those practices, we're facing it. Were we going to say something?
And I have to say, during this time, we were searching for spiritual answers, too. So we found ourselves in a big mega church, and we would hear some truth there. But there was that politics or that business side of religion that really left a sour taste in our mouth. Or they would, within conforming to society or their masses, it would be talking negatively about, LGBTQ, or something that I would just go, oh, and so I knew that there wasn't the place for me.
Yeah.
And so.
But you were looking for some kind of community, right?
So then I had to separate, you know what you guys talk about here, that religion versus God. And I think that's where it started picking up for us, because we just kind of stopped with that religious, construct, and then moved into that spirituality and feeling it and knowing that it's within us first. Before we could share it with anybody else, we had to understand. And I think that's when it really started taking off.
And I really share that story, or share parts of it in different ways. It's never the same. Right. Because it qualifies, because how can someone like that live the life that I live now?
Exactly.
Right? And in AA, they call it, you live in the promises, right? All the things you wanted, the happiness, this and that, when you're living right, the promises just naturally start occurring. Okay. So I do live in those promises, but we are not immune to the pain and emotional turmoil. We're human beings that learn every day. And so when those processes that I had to go through and stop drinking and all that stuff, right, I still had emotional bags, and I miss my relationships and stuff. So breathing really, through body movement, really augments the mind. It augments through our body and our consciousness, and it takes us to deeper levels. And that deeper level of knowing Source, knowing God, that was so much part of the healing. And so just incorporating that breathing that House and Frog does to make that conscious contact with Creator at all times, wherever you're at, creating those bubbles, creating that energy to help you heal, right? And the people that come to their house, we help them heal. And all we want them to do is pass the knowledge on, like we're doing.
And I was going to say, and that's exactly what we're doing, because this last year, with me working with you guys through breath work and movement, I don't know that without, now a lot of the tools and practices that we do with House of Frog, I either do on my own or have learned. So it's not like you guys are really teaching anything new per se, but you guys are actually applying it, and you guys are pulling in all these different tools and modalities, right? And practices and putting them all together in these evening nights that we do, the movement and breath work, or the sweat lodge, and lots of different things. And we actually got to have a sneak peek of all of the things that are up and coming at the House of Frog Wellness Center. So that's really cool. So we'll give updates on that another time. But, and I lost my train of thought again. Whatever we were talking about was super great.
Well, no, like you were saying, we're applying what we know. But what's really cool about in House of Frog is everybody's applying it. And so like some are just starting, and I'm like, I can totally relate to you because I was there just a few years ago. And some are like way beyond us, and I can learn from you. Thank you, and sharing your gifts. And that's what's really cool. And then we get together on other nights and just heal each other.
Right.
Just doing silly things, But that idea of community, and we call it our oikos, is so important in this day and time, because that 8 to 12 people that you're connected with will go out and be connected with 8 to 12 people, and then they'll be connected to 8 and 12 people, and you touch the world that way.
Right.
And then to have that realization, it comes from only one place, from source, and that power to know as an individual, you can have that domino effect and touch others and others and others, and we're all learning. Like, Rob and I are real.
Right.
It's like our 3-day extravaganzas of arguments are not 3 days. Maybe they're 10 minutes.
Because of the work that you guys are doing
Right.
and the work that you've already done to get to the place that you're at of healing, so that you can respond better instead of reacting now. Right? Yeah.
And so if I can share just that little bit with somebody,
Exactly.
that's awesome. Or if they stop and go, wait, what did Rob say? Let's just breathe,
Well, and that's what I want to say is I've been through a lot of change and transition in the last year and a half, and I don't think that I would be as far along as I am now, as far as my healing and my transformation, if it wasn't for the things that you guys offer and the connection that you guys offer to the community. And just knowing that I can come to you guys if I'm angry, if I'm upset, if I'm happy, if I'm anything, and you guys will receive whatever I am. If I'm the bubbly, effervescent Brandy, then you guys will receive that. If I'm quiet and don't have any makeup on and my hair's pulled back and I'm like, I'm just coming here to breathe. I don't even really want to talk right now. Just give me some water and I'm just going to breathe.
It's happened.
And then there's other times where you guys are like, come sing and be here and like bring your love and your light and everything. Not that you guys never not want me there, but you know what I mean? It's like you can just show up and be real and authentic with both of you, no matter where we are, but especially at House of Frog when you guys are doing your events, because you guys are authentic and you guys have been there and you understand. And so there's no judgment there. You guys are like, show up as you are. Check your energy at the door, take your shoes off and come in and we will receive you and we will love you and we will heal and grow together. So thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do with House of Frog, with the community. Thank you so much for being in our lives and supporting Augmented Teachings and the book that Todd just put out, God is Greater Than Religion. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for everything. And this is the first of many specials that we will be having with House of Frog. But I will tell you, it is a full moon and we got some other things to do. So we are going to go and put into practice all of the things that we talk about, we know about, we feel about, but we're actually going to do it. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much. I do know from the bottom of my heart that we all signed up to have this experience. And thank you so much.
Thank you so
to
much
you
for
guys.
including us.
Thank you so much for the viewers and the listeners and everything. And thank you to Nick, and super thank you to Todd, who is behind the scenes today. He is the founder and creator of Augmented Teachings, and with his love and blessings, he is having us do this show tonight. So
and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes. They have social media, and look out for more things with House of Frog and Augmented Teachings and all the wonderful things that we have going on in our community. So again, thank you for watching, and always have love and laughter in your heart and keep moving forward. Bye.